Do women today love men or love what men provide?
I think the numbers reflect men who
Right,
marry the
Darwin.
woman they're with. I don't think that has anything. Men control asking a woman to marry them. I think that that's the exact opposite, if you ask me. But I think that women love men all the time. Like it just doesn't lead to marriage. I don't think it's based off of. I mean, look at it this way: y'all love sitting here talking about Pookies and Ray Rays. Pookie ain't got no money. Some of these Pookies is on the sofa on this young
You
lady's
just made
sofa.
you
And,
just
and,
contradicted yourself.
and no, I was talking about
So if
the
Pookie
speaking.
had money, you love him then.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you that Pookie has a girlfriend who's watching over him, who loves him. Most Pookies have kids. That means somebody trusted them to have a kid with them, right? So he has a girl. All these Pookies around here, they be having baby mamas. They ain't out here just not having women they have access to. They're just
Yeah, but you assuming that all men have to provide is the money. Pookies provide something else. They can provide protection. They can provide some weed. They can provide, I don't know, that emotional instability that comes with them. One day they're here, one day they're not here. Something women love. They love the roller coaster because the good guy is so boring. So Pookies provide something. It's not money, but they provide that emotional roller coaster that women like.
not marrying these women. And these men don't have money like that. Matter
Why
of fact,
are you why
They,
you
but
say
they still love what it is he provides.
right,
It's
why
just
you
that
say
he
Pookie don't have
Exactly.
money?
let me just say this. We are the lowest economically, right? We are the lowest economically. But black men keep a woman. They do. So if it was about the money, I'm sorry, you're whipping the people we pick.
You are assuming that every time, I get it, provision, the main component of provision is money, but that's not all that men provide to women. There's time, companionship, emotional roller coaster from the Pookies, protection, listening to whatever they got going on, kids, sex, I don't know, status. Those are so many provisions. It's not just about the money.
But because we love you.
I didn't say money though.
Why we act like Pookie ain't got money?
But because we love you, we stick beside you, and we're clearly the low. We are the lowest economically. So it ain't about the money, honey. It's about love, love and loyalty.
There's no laws.
Pookie's still a dream.
Yeah. See, what y'all don't understand is that Pookie provides. It's not financial, but that's not what I was talking about. I mentioned the feeling, the sensations you get, whatever. Pookie might just be providing that schlong. He might be actually providing that overstimulation emotionally that you need because you grew up in trauma.
Yeah.
Pookie could provide whatever it is that you need outside of bread.
Weed.
So let's not get it twisted. He's not just doing nothing. He's not a scarecrow. He's doing something. And that whatever that is, that's your fix. Whatever it is that woman desires is what Pookie is providing.
Let me ask you a question, Fred, because you're married. Does your woman provide things for you? Does your wife provide things for you? Did she offer you any type of provision?
When you say things, what do you mean?
Meaning, does she bring value to your life?
Damn.
Sure, I wouldn't have married her. What the fuck?
Absolutely. So the point is, people marry people, their relationships, because they add value to their life. So let's not act like it's just one side. Like, oh, women, would you love this?
Nobody said that. The question was, do women love what men provide, not the men? Because we can turn it around. So many men are with women who provide really maybe sex, if anything, and then the men provide the rest. So that's a situation where you can say someone actually loves or is with someone just for them, not because they are providing anything tangible, because they provide, if they're being intimate, they both provide each other sex, so that cancels out, but how many women are with men who just provide sex? Yeah, they're there, but they got to provide something else, and otherwise, if not, it's not going to be for long term.
Listen, it was a one-sided question. It wasn't I'm answering the question.
She just said it was all love, and now she said people marry for provision.
I
I
have.
answered the question. That's what I did. I answered the
get
question. It was a one-sided question. If you would have asked the same thing about men, then people would have thought I was pandering tonight. That's all I did. I'm
Right.
sticking to the topic.
So the thing about exactly. So we have the you just said it exactly. We sitting here having a conversation. It's kind of common sense, right? To the point where it's like if you ask the same question and if you even mention the female side of it, it's called pandering. It's almost like y'all trying to stick us in a corner like we're some bad people. It's a human thing. When you're in a companionship with somebody, it's human. When a person brings value to your life, both ways, you want to marry them.
Now, Shan, we talking about my wife, right? But I wouldn't marry most. I wouldn't marry most women, though. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the average man's experience today, right? I could just go ahead and make this anecdotal if I want to, but the fact of the matter is, most relationships are failing. Most black people aren't getting married, unfortunately, right?
Right. So,
and even some of the people who are married are still failing within their marriage, and that's the point. Right. So someone's not finding value somewhere. Most people aren't finding value. And that's what I'm trying to get you to dig. Like, forget me. That's my situation.
I think they're too focused.
Let me handle this, Cal. So this is what I'm saying.
Results may vary.
So the problem is when the concentration is always on one person, one part. So if two people are having a problem in a relationship, to focus only on one part of the relationship, that's the imbalanced conversation. You can't just sit here and say, what is the woman doing? And you never speak on the man. If you really want to know the answer to the solution to the problem, you need to tackle both.
The reason we are, asking what is a woman doing, because for so many years, women have told us what men are not doing, and men have been quiet. It's only recently, with YouTube and social media that men are starting to speak up. But even when men speak up, women like her are quick to be like, but what about the man? It's like, you have been telling us men ain't shit, men don't do this, men blah, blah, blah. We've been hearing that, and men were quiet. Even women claim men don't speak out, they're not vulnerable, they don't open up, they don't share how they feel. But as soon as a man says, what do you bring to the table? Now they don't like that question. They say, I'm the table. It's like, but what is that what type of value are you going to provide for me?
Hey, Shan, you ain't never hear me talk about dudes before on some real? Like, you never heard me talk about dudes and tell them to stop going out here and having babies with women who you don't plan on marrying, and stop being bums and get your money up and all that. So, listen, I stick to the topic. The question was what it was, and I'll answer. Whatever comes up, I'm going to answer it directly and streamline. I'm not going to deviate too much. I just try to stick to it. So he might come out tonight, pause, and ask a question. Men.
No, listen, I absolutely get it. But
Shan, I got a question for you.
Listen, Shamone has jumped on his panel, and I'm going to tackle it from both ends. What I heard was him ask silently about men too. So I answered the question aloud. Thank you.
I got a question for you, Shan. So you got a man, right?
I do.
You love him, right?
I do.
Ow.
Now, when you met him, if he was broke, would you still love him?
I met him when he was broke. We've been in college.
Okay.
Go ahead, Callie.
I was going to say, I think most women do love men. And the reason I say that is because most women, when they're talking about, oh, I'm independent, I don't need a dude, it's all just a freaking front, because they probably got hurt and they're just like upset with that. But the second a man comes in and starts showering them with love and loving on them and showing that it's okay to be vulnerable, then they'll fold.
Well, what do you mean showering with love? Because it's not going to be with words, that's for sure. He's going to shower them with love, with some paper, with some gifts, with some experiences, trips, whatever it is. Because they keep saying love, but their love is in words. It's just an expression using words. For men, their love has to be tangible. It's something you can track and be like, okay, he expresses love through a trip, through a gift, through a dinner date, through something. So that's the difference, the disconnect.
They always do. I've met countless of women that have done it. This whole, oh, I don't want a man, I don't want this. It's a phase. And a lot of the people that are saying they don't want a man, half of them have a man. That's the crazy part. A lot of those songs we hear about, oh, F dudes, this and that, you hear them in relationships they're in relationships all the time. I just think that we focus too much on the wrong things in relationships, and then we look at other people's relationships and then make them feel like, and then it makes other people feel like their relationships have to be like their relationship, and that's typically why it fails, is because people lost the purpose of a relationship. People lost, it's not about what you can always just bring to the table, and sometimes people think that because it's bad right now it can't get better. They're so focused on the negative, or so focused on things that really aren't as important, because what is important is the relationship you have with that person.
No, people are focused on the so-called negative because we are trying to change the narrative. If we know marriage rates are going down, if we know divorces are going up, if we know men are giving up on marriage because, the child custody, divorce court, and things like that, if we know that women's standards are going high and high and men can't measure up, we have to have these conversations if we want the community to be together again, because community starts with the family. So we have to definitely have these tough conversations. Now, I know the ladies don't like to have these conversations because they're going to be held accountable. They don't mind if men are being held accountable and told to provide. But as soon as the men are like, hey, we're going to hold you accountable, submit, and, be nice to men, they don't like that. So at the end of the day, we have to have the tough conversations. What do you guys think about that? I'll put the link down below to Lapeef. Shout out to Lapeef Network.